Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. Got some airdrop and some crypto updates for you. So let's get right into it. For those of you who do live in the US, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a great holiday. I know a lot of people have a lot of time off in Canada. Our Thanksgiving was a little while ago. So with that being said, as always, just remember, nothing I say here is financial advice. Please do your own research. I'm just a guy on YouTube. If you haven't already, do me a favor, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter. By the way, check out my nice new PFP. I picked this one up. We'll talk about it later tonight in the AMA and why I did that. This is a Bitcoin puppet. Looks kind of nice. Costs a little more than it looks. Let me just be honest here. The next thing here is make sure you follow my wallet EVM. Doing pretty well. It was 200,000 a few days ago. It's pretty nice. And if you want extra coaching, guidance, support, as you know, we got the services, the Web3 Secret Society. Join the community or get a private video call to make sure you're ready for the bull run. I do want to take some time to thank you guys, by the way. So I hit a significant milestone a couple days ago. YouTube let me know. I didn't really think I'd ever get to the 1 million view mark. Now, I know for many of you, you go, that's nothing, right? A lot of people, they always want to compare how they're doing to others. You do that with your money, you do that with your car, your girlfriend, whatever it may be. It doesn't matter to me. I know there's some people who get 1 million views on a video. Some people get 100 million views on a video. I'm just happy that you guys have showed up, supported me for the last 4 years, watching my videos, subscribing, commenting on my videos. I hope you guys realize I've been telling you, I'm very transparent. Many YouTubers won't show you this. I've gotten a little less than 7,000 US dollars for 4 years of posting content. So you know I'm not doing it for the paycheck. And also you can probably tell when the bear market was. I show up regardless. I don't show up just because the times are good. I show up regardless whenever there's an opportunity, whether or not the audience is there or not. You can check the catalog of videos I have on my channel. But that being said, just again, thank you so much. It is nice to see that crypto has been bouncing. So if you've been checking your portfolio for the last couple of days, you're probably a little concerned seeing Bitcoin at $92,000 or $91,000, Sol around like 220, 230, Ethereum at 3,200. It's crazy how much we've normalized these new numbers, right? Like, if someone told you in the summer that we'd be at 91,000 Bitcoin, you'd be like, "Oh, that's huge." Now $91,000, yo, the world is ending. What, Ethereum getting close to breaking out of this year's all-time high? No. Solana, like $230. FUD, that's horrible. We're crashing. So it's crazy because we've normalized, and something about crypto, once we get the gains, we don't want to give them up. We call it, we don't like being up stuck, but it's nice to see we've somewhat recovered. I sort of called this about a month and a half ago in the a little over a month ago in the Web3 Secret Society, saying, you know what, regardless of what happens to the election, they'll both diverge one way and then they'll sort of regress back to the midpoint. Obviously, since we have kind of skyrocketed so much since November 5th and Trump's election win, well, we're not going to give everything back, but we gave out a tiny bit of it. Remember, there's not just going to be straight up candles. There's not going to be just straight down candles. For those of you who think that's possible, just remember one thing. There are psychopaths out there who have access to 100x leverage. Do you think the market is ever going to let these people actually make significant amounts of money like that when it's so obvious? Okay, great. You drop $5,000 in Bitcoin. It's just going to keep dropping down? No. But we are here for the short-term, long-term, or the long-term, short-term. So we'll wait until the signals are telling us to get out of the market. Until then, we're bullish. I've been saying this, since earlier this March, in the summer, in the big drawdowns. It doesn't matter. I kept adding to my positions, and I was using the time in the last couple of days to do the same thing as well. It is Black Friday, so one thing I do want to mention, guys, I went in here and I was buying up some of the Ledger products. Really wanted this Amethyst Purple. It sold out, but I did go ahead and buy some extra Nano X's, and I bought the Flex. I think the stacks or whatever, I don't think it's worth it yet. The memory is kind of crappy, but hey, if you want to pick up a hardware device and you haven't already, I think this is a good time to pick them up. I picked up a bunch because, I don't want to wait for shipping normally. And they're giving you $70 worth of Bitcoin. Maybe this is Canadian $70. I don't know. But also having this at 40% off is, pretty decent. I have the link to that if you want to check it out. Also, I always use TradingView, and I've already upgraded my membership by 365 days. I don't pick any exclusive service. I got Essentials to take 30% off. Once again, you got a couple days if you're interested. So be it. Whatever you want to do. I love TradingView because it adds so much value, and I want it for the remainder of the bull run at a minimum. Now, huge news when it came to Tornado Cash. So for those of you who aren't aware, the person who created Tornado Cash, basically charged with money laundering, they basically invented a protocol that allowed to do certain features and functions, and criminals were taking advantage of it. And instead of going after the criminals, they went after the person who created the device, even though they weren't I'm building this for criminals. So it was pretty sick. It was pretty disgusting, because that's like you building a computer program, somebody then using it illegally or for bad purposes, and them coming after you. You're like, what? You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. So glad to see that this is being sort of thrown out. It was overturned by the U.S. Appeals Court. The Torn token actually went up 500%. So you can sort of see that over here, in the depths of despair, went all the way up to it's actually $40 at one point yesterday, but nice to see that. Good to see that the government doesn't have the proper tools to include the actual technology underpinning the service as a sanctioned entity. So nice to see Tornado Cash will be usable again for those of us who do like to kind of make it so that our wallets money is sort of kind of not as traceable as possible. That's fantastic. Update here, Zircuit. I mentioned this in my last video. So this was an airdrop that I'll be honest with you, one of my biggest pet peeves on airdrops, Zircuit didn't do too bad, but they didn't really tell us a time until a few hours before. So I was sitting there in the Discord going, you know what? If I go to sleep, I'm going to miss out on 50% of my airdrop, as you guys know. So I sacrificed my sleep that morning. When was it? The 25th, so 2 days ago. So I went there. They had a bunch of issues, RPC and everything. But basically, the first thing you had to do, as I mentioned, was go in there, collect your airdrop amount. So I had 10,000 tokens, collect your fair drop amount, which I had none. Once again, I think it's almost like an IQ test, because hopefully you didn't stake your eigen token. Then you had to bridge, and if you haven't done this already, you have to go and bridge some ETH over to Zircuit. Now, the Zircuit team will tell you to use their official bridge. That'll cost you $40 or whatever, right? Depending on how expensive gas fees are. You can go on Orbiter, Owl2, GasZip, whatever has capacity, whatever's cheapest at the time, and send some ETH over, and then you'll send it back at the end. Then you go to Oscillex and you're able to transfer. So right now, the token is currently worth 7.8 cents. I was able to sell it at 11 cents when it went live, because everyone was spamming. The Discord was very, very upset, as they typically are. I saw some comments talking about, don't you screw India over again, we'll never forgive you, or whatever, that nonsense. I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of random white guys posting this stuff, because it just sounds so ridiculous when that's actually going on. But went on here, sold it right away, got an ETH, right? So you just trade it into Ethereum, and then you can sort of bridge it out the same way you bridged it in. That's it. Okay. Now, I did promise you guys that I would share my thoughts on Jupiter. So as you know, we are currently in the midst of the Jupuary proposal for the next two of them. Now, I do have Jupiter stake, nowhere near a whale, but I did sort of outline some of my thoughts here. I won't go through all of this. My main points, number one was, you can't really say that you're going to provide an airdrop and then just take it away once everyone does what you wanted them to do. I don't like changing goalposts. I saw this happen with a lot of brands. Now, there is some governance, so hopefully the idea is more around how do you do it, not versus yes or no. But the problem is, and I call this out on November 23rd. There are whales who, reality, right? Strategically, whales are incentivized to keep the Jupiter price up at the cost of its user growth, right? If you hold a bunch of Jupiter token, you don't want people getting the Jupiter token, dumping on your forehead, and you have to absorb that Jupiter token. You're happier just seeing it go away, right? The other thing is there are people who use the protocol, who have been exclusively using this versus other things out there. There's an opportunity cost, and what that means is that creates a very negative brand image, strong enough to actually make people stay away from Jupiter. Once again, not a good thing. Now, I think both of these are short-term viewpoints. I did hope to see some sort of strict penalty for those who want to claim the unstaked Jupiter. That way, if they're forced to hold on to it for a certain period of time, then, it will lessen the sell pressure. Make sure you reward people who use it consistently. Obviously, this one got a lot of blowback enforcing KYC. I know it's hated. It's the most effective tool against Sybils. You could also sort of use Solana ID, as some people mentioned. Something, right? It doesn't have to be full KYC, but something to reduce Sybils. Then also, potentially taking some of the tokens away, allocating them to the active staking rewards. This would be instead of the penalty, because at least this way, if you unstake, you don't get the other portion. And then also have different votes for each Jupiter, not just two at once. It just doesn't make any sense. Well, the one that came up, and by the way, I hope you're voting on all the Jupiter proposals for your active staking rewards. It came up pretty live, and it was just like, hey, 700 million Jupiter, yes or no? It's like, so what happened was, it was the most basic form, right? So this is sort of what they put out there, and unsurprisingly, the vote looks to fail. You need a 70% threshold, and right now 55% is yes, 45% is no. Although if you look at the number of wallets, which is interesting, like I thought, 84.4% are yes, which means that the ones who are saying no are the ones who hold the majority of the tokens. And you can see this on the dashboard right here. It's currently sitting around 57% yes, 43% no. So maybe some slight tweaks and we'll get there. But obviously, are you surprised? Those who would stand to lose the most don't want people to be able to sell more. Makes sense, right? The next update here is Saga Vault 7. I feel like I just talked about Saga Vault 6 coming out, but number 7 has been distributed, and the snapshot for Vault 8 was taken yesterday. This was on the 27th. So Stake Cito and his team, and this is Winnie, she made a post around what you can do to ensure that you get as much as possible. So make sure you read these instructions if you are in fact in Saga and staking and doing everything. She describes how the loyalty levels work as well. Huge news when it comes to Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid is probably I know we talked about anticipated airdrops, Eigenlayer, ZK Sync, whatever. Hyperliquid is currently the most anticipated airdrop. And basically what they've done is they identified many Sybil addresses controlled by a few people, around 100. Basically, they've drastically reduced the points for them, and they've distributed 8 million points for activity in May, 8.4 points for activity in October, and early November. So make sure you go in and check your Hyperliquid to see how many points you got. I was surprised. I got 0. And it's weird because I use the perpetuals not in May, but I was using a ton in October and November. So my only guess is I probably got blacklisted or something because I had made a thread sharing how you can get around the geo block. Honestly, kind of sucks to see this, but you know what? Like I said, I'm doing this for the community. If I miss out on the $4,000, $5,000 that I would have earned for doing it, so be it. Next update here is on Hyper Foundation again. So this is for Hyperliquid, and basically, if you haven't done it already, you have until tomorrow at midnight UTC, basically right before, to review and accept the Genesis event terms and conditions. So go in here, make sure that you establish connection. Be very wary though if you sort of do this on VPN. They have a flag that repeated attempts will get you blacklisted. So just be very careful on that. Congratulations for everyone who's made it through the Linea search event. Like, it's finally over. It's finally over. It's been taking so long. It ended on November 25th. And basically, the 6 vaults are over. So hopefully very soon we're going to see what we are getting for all the LXP and the LXPL that we have earned. If you check your wallet, if I just go back over here, you should be able to see your LXP over here. So I got 5,104. Make sure you check it out under bank. I think it's very good to have the insight there. But at the end of the day, obviously, nothing you can do at this point because all the last snapshots have been taken. If you haven't done this already, go and make sure you check your eligibility for the side drop. So as I mentioned a few days ago, what you want to do is you want to add in some of your wallets. So I went in and registered my Bitcoin wallet. I'll just show you here. This is one of my Unisat wallets. Oh yeah, I've already registered it. But once you do it, you go here, you verify, you put in the thing, put in the wallet addresses, like check it out before, like type in the wallet addresses for any of these chains, and then it'll let you know, and then you can basically connect and sort of link your Bitcoin address to make sure you get the side airdrop. Other news as well, the Magic Eden token generation event is coming up on December 10th, so put that in your calendars. Also on December 4th, we will find out how many tokens we're going to get. So what is the diamond, sort of hopefully what that exchange looks like, and what that means for us. Also, December 12th, Lingo token. For those of you who farmed the Lingo airdrop and maybe you did the pre-sale like I did, well, December 12th, Lingo token is coming out as well. And finally, the last, 2 more things I want to share. Movement airdrop eligibility checker is up as well. So you have to make sure you go on here. Not legal advice, but you may have to use a VPN. Check your eligibility and register for the airdrop. The registration deadline is the 2nd of December, 2024. Basically, once you do that, you can go ahead and you'll see this notice. Thanks for registering. Stay tuned for updates. And finally, I don't really farm this as much, although I do go in to get on-chain activity. There's a new retroactive reward, 75,000 bucks in OP. You need over 1,000 cubes. Like I think I got like a couple hundred. You gotta have staked L3 and you gotta have a 33-day or higher GM streak. So this is going to be very exclusive to people who actually are super all in on this. So if you like to click buttons, you like to save your time, hey, you're gonna get paid off for this. Many of us won't. So just wanted to thank everybody here. We see got Daniel in the chat. We got Mark Dizon here on Twitter. We got IR Nobody. We got King Louis. Congrats, thank you. We got Haitian Buffet. Thank you so much. We got Haitian Buffet saying Happy Turkey Day. Congrats. Really appreciate your hard work. Appreciate you. And we got Fitness. You're the best. All right. Thank you guys. We're going to jump over to the AMA. And this is where you get to ask your question. So if you haven't already, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.